I had this 14-year-old neighbor girl, right, that literally got pregnant, and it was a whole case down the line. The father was like beating the mom because he felt it was a failure on her own path. The whole play. Anyways, before I go further, guys. Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Mary Alu, aka Niger Mandela, your host. And remember that this page, we said we're going to be talking about inspiring stories of women, because we know when we remind you of your history, it's going to bump you up to want to pick up for yourself as women. And so welcome to our channel. Please like, subscribe, share, and you might be blessing someone's life with this story. Anyways, back to our story. There was this 14-year-old who got pregnant. My neighbor, that is. I would say that it started with neglect. I feel like the girl was left all alone all the time. There was no supervision and all that. And one thing led to another. This man, late 40s, he took advantage of the situation, had sexual relations with the girl. She got pregnant. But fast forward to where the whole issue turned me off, and I was like going over the roof. The girl found out she was pregnant, told her mom, her mother told the father, and the father went off, beating the mom, telling her how it's her responsibility, she should have known better. Women in the environment were judging this woman, telling the woman that it's her fault, she left the girl at home all the time. And then again, she was sent away from the house. This girl had no roof over her head. 14-year-old, don't forget that. Stay with me. She went to the family of the person who got her pregnant, and the mother of that man beat the girl and sent her away from the house and told her they don't accept childhood pregnancy in their family. This is a grown-ass man, and this is another woman who was there. So why am I emphasizing on the issue of the woman? Why? Because I feel that generally what feminism is about is giving women so much grace, as much as you have yourself. So what do I mean by that? If the mother had given this girl so much grace, she would have understood that as much as it's a painful thing to happen to anybody, this is a young girl who is even below the age of consent that got pregnant. And if the neighbors believe that every child is a farm and everybody has a role to play in the life of every child, be it your child or not, they wouldn't have just waited for the whole thing to get sour before they began to speak up. We women were very used to judging ourselves, and that's not furthering our cause at all. In times past, women have banded together for a sole purpose of speaking up for rights of their husbands, their sons, their daughters. Imagine if we went back to a time like that. I'm going to use the About Women riot as an example to what I'm trying to drive at. The About Women riot happened around 1920s or so. These women came together to fight for some similar causes. And sometimes I think about it and I say this cause was not just for them. They were protesting about how their husbands and their sons were treated poorly at work, and how much taxes were placed on them to the extent that the family cannot provide food to eat and all that. And these women decided to band under one flag for the sole purpose of speaking up over and over again for almost a month. They spoke, and they spoke with one voice. No woman was sitting at home judging the other woman, saying you shouldn't be on the street speaking up. How are you a woman and you're speaking up? Like, we don't give ourselves so much grace. Imagine if we all band together and speak about what is going on. Oh, women's rights should be furthered. Oh, young girls should not be left at the mercy of pedophilic men. Or we band to speak up and say more women should be represented in political positions, or more women should be given grace to build capacity. Imagine how much further we would have gotten with this women's rights movement, feminism movement. I just want us all to remember as women that feminism is giving grace to the next woman beside you. This story is just to inspire you, because the About Women's Riot story inspired a lot of people. Like Margaret April, when she was 15, she heard the story, and 20 years later, she went on to found the About Women's Association, as we know. So this story is to inspire you. Is it going to inspire you to speak up for the next woman? Is it going to inspire you to give women more grace, as much grace as you give yourself? Is this story going to inspire you to look out for that young girl next to your house that has been neglected by her mother? Or is it going to still make you judge them? The ball is in your court. It's either you want to be a better woman and advocate for women, or you can decide to stay outside and judge. Choice is yours. I believe that this story I've given you today will push you into making the right or better decision for you and I, and for Nigeria at large. I leave you with these thoughts. Women supporting women is never out of fashion, like I keep saying. It just depends on how you look at it. Till next time, guys, I still remain your host, Ali Mary, aka Niger Mandela. See you guys.